thank you so much for watching. So I'm going to start off by setting up my palette first. The colors I chose are based on the photo I'm working from. These colors will be used for the skin tone, for different aspects of the painting, the background. So I first start off with a skin tone. That will be starting with using this mixing white that's I find better than, say, titanium white, because that tends to be a bit more cool, and often for my skin tone or skin tones I work with, I want kind of just the other colors to show through. So yeah, using this mixing white, a yellow ochre, a Prussian blue, and a cadmium red. So I'm going to mix those all together to kind of create this general medium skin tone of the painting, and that will be used to kind of separate also a light color and a dark color. And then I thought it needed to be a bit more warmer, so I added a burnt sienna. Yeah, so here I am creating the highlights, so using that color and then just adding some of the white to it. And that will be used for the light parts of the paint or of this face. And then I'll add a burnt umber to get kind of the dark tones. And then here, taking that cadmium red, mixing with a bit of the Prussian blue to get this nice kind of reddish purpley color for the lips, and then for some other natural reds of the painting. And here, dipping into a mix of linseed oil and turpentine that I made as a paint thinner so that the paint isn't so thick. And also I find that just makes the paint glide onto the canvas a lot nicer. And here I just bought one of those canvases from Micheals that comes in like a pack of, I think it was 10. And then I'm going to lightly draw on to a very general outline of the face. I keep squinting and I kind of test out the angles looking at the photo and kind of bring the same exact angle back onto the canvas. Yeah, and so then I just start with the nose. I find it's easiest to do this because it's kind of the center of the face, center of the painting, in this case. And yeah, some people start with, you know, just the eye, or they start with like the head. For me, that's a bit more challenging just because I feel like you don't kind of get the whole, like, everything kind of in balance together, but, you know, everyone works differently. And we're just putting in some general shadows and kind of building the structure based on kind of the surrounding area and then the actual nose itself. And then moving on to the mouth, using that kind of dark reddish purple color. In this case, the lip is a bit darker because it's a little bit receded, and then the bottom lip will be a bit lighter because the pout kind of comes out. In this case, the chin is also a little bit more prominent moving forward, so that there'll be kind of that dark shadow under the lip and then the highlight of the chin popping forward. Then I jumped ahead a little bit to just fill in the eyes, constantly checking my angles, and then now kind of just building up the cheeks and the general face. Here I'm starting to add in some of the hair, so I took I think it was straight up burnt umber as the kind of, I think I'm going to mix that with a little bit of white as the general hair tone, and then a darker form of that to add the shadows of kind of the curls, and then using that same color to add onto the eyebrows, and I believe I use that same color for other parts of the lips and dark areas of the face. Then I added in a blue background, filled in some of that, and then going back with a close-up of the eye and kind of adding the highlights and using that same dark tone, I think, for the mouth and for the hair. And that was a mix of the cadmium red and the blue to fill in the shadows and like kind of the dark kind of eyeliner part of that. jumped ahead a bit. I had one hand filled in and the other hand. Hands are always a bit tricky and wonky. You just kind of have to remember that your fingers are kind of just shadow, light, and then the lightest one being whatever, is hitting front. So in this case, the pinky, the back of the hand is going to be darker, and then kind of working through the lighter tones, the darker tones with that. And then using this kind of mixed thing with yellow ochre, a white, and I think a little bit of red for the scarf, and then using that same dark red from the lips for the shadows of the scarf. And I find that if you use kind of the similar colors at different parts of the painting, it kind of unifies it instead of using all these different colors. So I use like the same color, same oranges in different spots of the painting, the darks are the same. And yeah, and then just going back and then fixing up the hand a bit, adding shadows, adding any highlights that I need, and then kind of just wrapping up the painting. And voila, kind of just with those last bits of highlights, and the painting is done. Thank you so much for watching my first video. It really means a lot. So this channel will be probably dedicated to painting tutorials. I'll probably do some makeup tutorials inspired by my own paintings and other famous paintings. I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. I graduated last year, so probably some questions on that, or art school in general. But yeah, I'm excited to start this channel. Thank you again so much for watching. If you could like, comment, subscribe below. That would be amazing. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.